This is the Raspberry Pi 5 AI HAT Plus 2 by CanaKit, and I bought this to upgrade my personal AI girlfriend. I mean AI assistant.
You sure about that?
Don't judge me, it's 2026. Let's go ahead and unbox it. I've been experimenting with running AI locally on my Raspberry Pi 5 and using Python agents to do some automation and lab testing. And I'm not gonna lie, performance has been a little slow. And when I saw this Pi 5 AI HAT 2 advertising AI acceleration capabilities, I was like,
damn, what is that, bro?
And some of the specs on this thing include the Hailo 10H chip, aka the NPU, which is basically the dedicated AI processor. And it comes with its own 8 gigabytes of LPDDR4 RAM, separate from the Raspberry Pi 5's RAM. And these allow it to deliver over 40 tera operations per second, or TOPS, of Int4 inference performance, meaning this Pi will give you the best top game you've ever had. And it's especially strong at vision tasks like object detection, image recognition, and computer vision. And it does all this with a single PCIe connection straight connected to your Raspberry Pi 5. And that all sounds really great. However, the term AI acceleration isn't exactly what most people think it means. But more on that later. For now, let's go ahead and get into the unboxing. All right, so I actually went ahead and purchased the combo edition, which comes with the AI HAT 2, of course, here. You've also got a heatsink, the case, and then of course this is the extender, which allows you to put the entire Raspberry Pi 5 as well as the Pi AI HAT 2 on top of it without it extruding. I know if you use the regular Raspberry Pi 5 case, like this one I've got here, it actually will stick out the top and you won't be able to put this top on here. So it's good that they actually do offer this, although I would prefer it to be in this style. I already have this black casing for my Pi 4, and I did like the red and white better, but whatever. So this is some great packaging from CanaKit. It keeps it all nice and clean, but let's get this open. Damn, who the fuck are they trying to keep out of this shit? Ring, sponsor me. So we'll start off with the actual bad boy here, the AI HAT 2 itself. And it says here, the Raspberry Pi HAT 2 features the Hailo 10H AI accelerator chip, bringing generative AI capabilities to the popular AI HAT platform. Here's all the features. I won't actually spell them all out. I've already kind of went over it. Looks pretty good, pretty clean, nothing too crazy though. We've got the extender for the case. Not much to write home about. We've got the actual case itself. And we've got the heatsink for this. Let's get it all open. We'll start with the actual AI HAT first itself. So this is first looks at the actual AI HAT itself. This thing looks pretty nice. And this is the PCIe cable to actually attach it to the PCI Express slot on the board. I'll actually go ahead and take that tape off. There we go. Put that off to the side. Now it comes with some instructions to show you how to put the heatsink on it. It comes with the GPIO extender, so you can actually attach this to the board itself so that you can still have this capability on the top portion of the AI HAT board. Comes with some risers and some screws, and we've got the heatsink here. And then we've got the CanaKit Mega heatsink for the Raspberry Pi 5. Now, I'm not actually sure if I'm going to use this yet because it's also got the fan needed for it. I basically have a heatsink with a fan on it, so I don't know. If you see it in the video, I actually put it on. If not, I decided not to. See here, pull it off. See, I've got a heatsink on there and a fan. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to take the time to take this off to put this one on. I'll just save this for something else. Anyways, now the first thing we're going to want to go ahead and do is actually put the heatsink on the AI HAT itself. So we'll follow these directions that they've provided. Very great detail, just like IKEA furniture essentially. So I'm going to actually align this up exactly how it looks on the instructions itself, so I don't mess it up. And then we've got this oriented like this. And I think these screws here, these little pop-in screws, are going to go into these two holes here. So first we need to take this adhesive off, and I will align that screw up and make sure they're both lined up well so I don't mess up the stickiness. And from here, I am just going to press down. This one, and press down, come on. 2. There we go. So that wasn't too bad. So we'll set that off to the side. Now I'll go ahead and open up the new case that we're going to use. So this is a pretty standard black case, nothing to write home about, honestly. I do like the white one better, but the extender that comes with this is for this case rather than the white one I'm using, so we're just going to use this. So we've got the case here. This is actually just a regular case. Then we have the actual extender itself. Pull that out as well, and all you're essentially going to do is put this right on top, and it clips into place slightly. And then from here you'll put the fan on top of it. But before we can do all that, obviously we need to actually go ahead and attach this AI HAT chip to our Raspberry Pi. So I've already taken mine out of the case. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put this down. Okay, so this is actually Future Keith here. I ended up finding out that I did need to take this fan off, and the reason for that is because I only have one actual fan port. The fan that came with it is a better type of fan compared to this one. That's a little bit better for airflow throughout the entire case, so I'll go on with that one. But anyways, the first thing we're going to want to go ahead and do is attach the heatsink to the PCIe port. And we can see that the PCIe port is here. Now it actually usually has this little clip here, looks like a dust cover, and it's usually placed on here, so you will have to take it out. Some people can just pull it back a little bit and then connect their port in, but I was not able to do that. So I had to take it off. And then from there, we'll go ahead and take the AI HAT and we will plug it in. And while we're holding this in place, we will reattach the clip. And you'll push it down. You can see here that it should be lined up rather well now. There we go, it's flush, and if I let this hang, you can see that the connection is secure. It's not going anywhere. So now that we've got this here, we can actually go ahead and install the screws for the headers. We are going to be using the short screws in this case on the bottom. If you get the kit, it's generally going to come with 2 sets of screws, some short screws and some even shorter screws. So we'll take the even shorter screws and we will screw them in to the bottom of the board with the headers that come with it. And the orientation of which way you put the header does matter. It's only going to screw in correctly one way, so you'll know real quick if you've done it the wrong way. But in this case, I will go ahead and put this screw through, and I will start to screw the header in, and that's one. I'll do the rest. Okay, so now that we've got the bottom screws and the headers on, we're going to go ahead and install the GPIO extender. You're just going to align these pins up here with the holes on the bottom here and try not to bend any pins. I've already done that twice, so we'll see how this goes. All right, so we've got that fully secure to the board. There's no gap there. From here, we will go ahead and mount the top of the AI HAT to the GPIO headers now. Cool. And now we have got this flush with the top of the board. And from here, we'll just install the larger screws. All right, so we've got that fully secured and attached to the PCIe port. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach the fan, and I probably should have done this beforehand because the port's down here, so this is kind of in the way. But it's okay because I've got some pliers here. And I am going to be using the CanaKit provided fan. It is a turbine fan, which is apparently a little bit more efficient to be placed at the top of the case rather than right above the CPU like my previous one was. And it'll allow better airflow throughout the entire case to include the CPU and the AI HAT itself. Now that's what it claims. I'll see what it's like in reality over the next couple of weeks, but let's go ahead and get this installed. All right, that wasn't so bad with the needle nose pliers, so we've got that connected. Now we're gonna prop this baby into the case, obviously orient the SD card side with the SD card itself. And that just clicks into place there. Then we will go ahead and put the top portion of the case through and route this fan through as well, just to make sure we don't clip it. Secures pretty nicely. Then we will add the extender portion of it. And then all we have to do is put the top on. But first we need to clip the fan in to place. I believe this is the correct orientation. I'll find out if not. And then just clip it into place. And there we go. This is the extended case. A little bit fatter, but nothing too different. And that's it. That's how we assembled the Raspberry Pi 5 with the AI hat and the extended case that comes from CanaKit. Now we will go ahead and boot this up, install the needed software for it, like the drivers, and we'll be good to go. All right, so now that you've got the AI hat installed on your Raspberry Pi 5, you're gonna need to actually install the dependencies and drivers for it. So in order to do that, obviously you have to log into your Raspberry Pi 5. You can SSH into it or just plug in the keyboard, mouse, and monitor. I've already got SSH access, so I'm gonna do that. So I'll switch over to my lab. All right, here, and you can actually see these steps for this on Raspberry Pi's official documentation page. However, I've already got it all set up, so we're not gonna worry about that. I'll make this big screen and make it a little bit larger. And I do wanna have a caveat that I am doing this on the official Raspberry Pi OS image. I'm not aware of what other OSs the AI hat does support. You're gonna wanna check out the documentation for that. But for this, I'm just using the Raspberry Pi OS. So from here, you're gonna need to go ahead and update your Raspberry Pi OS first with these commands. You'll wanna do sudo app update. I'm not going to do it because I've already done these. Then you want to go ahead and do this one as well. Sudo app full upgrade, yes, and sudo RPI EEPROM update -A. Once these complete, you want to go ahead and do a sudo reboot and reboot your machine. Once it comes back up and you log back into it, then you're going to need to install the actual dependencies for the AI hat with these following commands. This one here, I've already done that, so I won't do it. This one here, I've already done that as well. And then you'll reboot one more time. And once you log back in for the third time, you're gonna wanna verify that your Raspberry Pi 5 is actually seeing your AI hat, and you'll just run this command here. Definitely not a sudo reboot again, this one. And if you get this, where you're actually identifying the board, you're seeing the firmware version, you're seeing the architecture, you might have some other things on here like serial and model number. However, the documentation does say that that might not pop up, and that's okay. But as long as you get this, you know you're Gucci. So now we've got all the software and dependencies installed so that we can actually utilize our AI hat. From here, you can actually go ahead and install your own LLM or VLM. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but it's pretty easy. You can follow that same documentation that I had showed earlier. Back over here, that'll actually show you the steps to walk through and install all that stuff for your AI hat, whatever you decide you want to go ahead and do. But that's it. Now, earlier in the video, I did hint at the fact that this AI hat plus 2 is maybe a little questionable when it comes to AI acceleration. And I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that real quick. Now, I originally bought this AI hat to try and improve performance in my Raspberry Pi 5 while I was trying to get AI to troubleshoot some issues that I would create in my EVE-NG lab, specifically where I would create some issues with some routers and switches and try and get it to resolve those issues. And this board is advertised to accelerate AI inference. However, AI inference is a very broad term and something I learned the hard way as I was messing with this. There's actually different types of AI workloads if you didn't know. My troubleshooting agent uses a large language model. Think of ChatGPT, Grok, stuff like that, which generates one word at a time. Basically, it takes all of the information you've given it. So I would offload a whole bunch of logging from the servers and switches and routers that I wanted it to troubleshoot, along with my problem statement, and it would actually do a whole bunch of math to generate a word, and it would do that all over again as it continues to try and create a answer for me. And that's very resource intensive. That's called token-based inference. And that kind of workload is heavy on memory and transformer math. This board, on the other hand, is optimized for a different type of AI. Things like image recognition, object detection, and computer vision. That type of AI workload is called vision inference, which is a structured pattern matching, not word by word text generation type math. So while this absolutely does accelerate AI workloads, it's much better suited for vision style AI as opposed to running large language models like what I was trying to do. So I learned it the hard way. Hopefully you don't have to, but if you're looking for something that actually helps with those type of things like object detection, then this is definitely something you're going to want to use. And they may do some updates in the future so that this is a lot better for large language models. However, right now, I'm not sure based off what I'm seeing, this is going to be honestly what you want to use. You'll probably just rather just get another Pi 5 with additional memory, and you might honestly have a better performance than having something with a little bit of memory and an AI hat on top of it. But that's just my 2 cents. You do whatever the you want to do. But anyways, I appreciate you guys watching the unboxing. Let me know if you're thinking about picking this up, and if you are, what do you intend on using it for on your Raspberry Pis? I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.